In Adobe Audition, there are two working modes to choose between. This tutorial will deal with the Waveform view and how to prepare for recording. With the Adobe Audition application open, I'll click on the Waveform button up here and I'll be met with a new window that gives me a few options. Firstly, I'll need to name my file. Then, I can choose the sample rate of my file. For this, I'm going to select 44.1 kHz. If you're working in Adobe Audition for a university project, you should check with your lecturer which options you should be using. We can now choose our channels. I'm going to select mono for this tutorial and we'll leave the bit depth at its default of 32. Now click OK. So this is the waveform view. This large dark space in the middle of the screen is the editor panel, and that's where our waveform will appear once we started recording. I'm using the classic workspace as mentioned in the previous video. So we also have our transport panel over here with typical features such as stop, play, pause, rewind, fast forward, record, etc. We have our time counter here, which currently is in minutes, seconds and decimals, and our zoom panel, which has some navigation features and buttons for you to explore. Now, the files that we create are going to be listed over here in the Files panel. You can see that the one I've just created is already listed here. Just before we record, we'll need to make sure that our sound inputs and outputs are selected correctly. To do this, we can navigate to the Adobe Audition preferences like so, and go to Audio Hardware. The default input should have your microphone selected. I'm using my MacBook's onboard microphone for this tutorial, so it says built-in microphone. If you were using a USB microphone, or perhaps the microphone on a webcam, or maybe even a Focusrite audio interface, you need to select that here. Your output speakers or headphones should be selected here, and when you've changed these settings, press OK. Now that we're acquainted with the waveform view and the hardware preferences that we need to check, the next video in this series will focus upon recording and saving.